Hey, day 4 of my announcement to launch our findacoolboss.com platform, our boss employee matching platform coming up in March of 2024. So keeping you guys in tune with what's going on day to day. I told you I was going to create these videos and kind of like bring you along on my journey of launching such a huge thing for, an everyday person that just had a great idea that would help people. And it's a big thing, creating a platform that you want to go everywhere to help bosses, companies, and employees, grow together in the businesses. So just up the game when it comes to leadership and an awesome company culture and businesses. I know both sides of it. I know what it's like to be the boss and the pressures, and it's one thing, at night saying you're going to do this and you're going to do this at work and make it better, but then when it's in the heat of the day, when you're doing all your stuff, it's easy to lose that. And not just you, but everyone that's working underneath you that might be in leadership roles. So anyways, yesterday we had a cool event. I felt really good about that. So every day I just try to get one step higher, look for some sort of progress, and that's really what it comes down to. Like you, I'm sure I know a lot of people that have some great ideas, and that's all they are. Unfortunately, ideas, no matter how good they are, they're just a dime a dozen, because everybody's got great ideas. I'm sure you can think of something you had thought of and never acted on, and then all of a sudden you saw it exploding, being, somebody else had that idea as well and went with it, and you're like, oh, I wish I did that. And that's just regret, and that's what most people do. So, but I teach this, you got to look for progress, not perfection. And coming from me, who, through my martial arts training all these years, I tried to be as articulate as possible, very, very perfectionist type in my training, and that overlaps into my business, and it can be a blessing and a curse. A blessing meaning you're going to be good at what you do. And I mean, if you're going to share and teach people, you should be good at what you do. You shouldn't be a poser. But at the same time, it's a form of procrastination sometimes when, if things aren't exactly in line, you don't pull the trigger. And myself included, and so many other people that are entrepreneurs or have great ideas, they just don't pull the trigger. So one way to overcome that is you got to have some victory, some progress every day. Yesterday was easy, having a great event in the morning, meeting some amazing people. Today, wake up, okay, what are we doing today? What am I working on today? Now, I've been studying marketing for decades, and I tell people, other business owners that have great ideas, great service, great products, but they're not good at marketing. And I know a lot about marketing. Doesn't mean that I'm as consistent as I would like to be, but I do have a very creative mind. And I also have that, what I call black belt excellence, which comes from my training all these years, that, I don't give up. I can't. It drives me. Once again, you would think that it's just a blessing, but it can be a curse as well, because, so you got to be careful your work-life balance, and make sure you're not overworking yourself and then burning out. But either way, so today, I was really thinking about some of those things, some things that came up yesterday, but what is my victories for today? Well, I went back, I started looking over a lot of different topics I'm going to discuss in these videos. Not just what I'm doing day to day on my journey, hopefully inspiring you to tackle something that you think is out of your reach. But you know what? Every day, if you just grab onto another hole, you're going to get closer and closer to the top. And if you don't do it yourself, at least you can share mine, what I'm doing with me, because certainly it does take support. And in a business, I would call that a dream team. I went many, many years doing most of the jobs at my business because of my perfectionism. I want to make sure it's right. I'm sure a lot of you can think along the same lines as that. But I've learned to create that dream team. And what that means is I need to create systems and things and core values in my company that take the place of me. And so through proper hiring practices, hiring the right people that align with the core values of the company, and the mission, the vision, the purpose, which are different things. I mean, your purpose is, why do you exist? Why do you exist? What's your mission? Why do you exist? Who are you helping? Why are you helping them? What are you helping to solve? And that could be in any industry, any job. You're solving something. Sometimes you got to peel back the onion. I had some fun with some people yesterday, peeling back the onion of what they do so they could really get down to how to serve better, and what's going to get people to want to work with them, because they trust you. They trust you because you align with them. And so you're not just selling something. You're building that rapport and that alignment with your potential client or customer first. Then you're offering your service. And because there's a lot of people that are doing the same thing that you're doing. In my industry, everybody on the window front is saying the same thing. Whether they're doing it or not, or what level they're doing it, is a different story. But they're all saying they're the best. They're all saying you got to do this. So really, your client, your customer is it's gonna come down to how much they like you. And so you're basically selling yourself, and you have to do that in the best way. You have to do it in the most genuine way, because people will read right through it. And nowadays with the internet, people can check right away if you're for real or not. Myself, through all the decades of creating all these really awesome programs that, I've released worldwide to help keep people safe and empower people, it's always a struggle. It's a struggle to create it. You got to sacrifice, make commitments to it. What I like to do, and this is good for you as well, once again, set some goals for yourself. But I don't want to just say goals, because everyone says that, but like reward yourself for the little steps. So even though it's kind of an external motivation, it's intrinsically created. So it's not someone doing it for you or rewarding you, which that's a whole nother video, external versus intrinsic motivation, and how so many companies and so many people are doing it wrong. You want to make it inside, intrinsic. So thinking of those terms, I like to reward myself when I have to face some challenges that might be uncomfortable and scary, whether it's doing a presentation, and the bigger the presentation, the bigger the pitch you have to do for possibly some people to be a part of your dream team, whether it's as an employee or an investor or what have you. You got to set these little rewards. It works great. And I'll just share a quick story. A few years back, I wanted to challenge myself mentally. Now, physical training has been a part of my life for most of my life. And so that's not working out, throughout the week, that's not a big deal for me. I mean, I'm used to it. Doesn't mean I enjoy it all the time, but I'm used to it. I'm disciplined enough to do that. But I wanted to challenge myself mentally. Because it all starts in the head. Your body will do things as long as your head will let it do it. And so I said one time, and some of you who know me know about this, but I set a goal. I said, I'm going to do 50 burpee push-ups every morning for 30 days straight. It wasn't so much the physical, which to some of you that might be a lot. To others, you might be like, it's no big deal. But 50 burpee push-ups, all different styles of those burpee push-ups, maybe doing side reaches or what have you. But the key was doing it every day for 30 days straight. It didn't matter if you had a cold, you had a headache, you didn't feel like you were tired. I got up and, for most of that whole challenge, I did them in the morning, and I hated doing them at night after a long day. But anyways, I hit 30 days straight. And I mean, that meant I wasn't sick. I wasn't, I didn't give up. Just because I had a headache or whatever, I just kept going. So, but 30 days felt so good. And the feeling of victory, I went 60 days. 60 days straight without missing a single day. Now, without judging whether that's healthy or unhealthy, I mean, yeah, it had some healthy benefits. And in hindsight, it might have created some soreness that I could do without. But that being said, 60 days turned into 6 months. 6 months straight, every day. If I went away, I was doing it in a hotel room, whatever. I just made sure I couldn't break the chain. I created a routine. And that helped me deal with the fears of the struggles and the unknowns that were in the way of me achieving my goals. So 6 months went to a year. So you're like, holy cow, 365 days straight without missing a day of 50 burpee push-ups every morning. Well, long story short, that went to 2 years. I went 2 years every day. Now I felt great in many ways, and now I'm dealing with my mind got my body into a little bit of trouble that I'm recuperating from, but no big deal. The point is, I knew I could do it. And when I share this story with people, they go, you're freaking crazy. But it was building a self-trust in myself. So now let's fast forward it to 4 days ago when I finally committed to doing my YouTube channel and getting it started, and and making a commitment that I'm going to do it every day to help launch this platform, because I know it's going to be so good for both companies and boss and leaders, business leaders, as well as the employees that work for them. I want to create that trend where companies are stepping it up and they feel almost forced to do it, because the best talent is going to start going more and more looking for that autonomy, looking for that freedom, to the companies that give them that freedom to excel, to innovate, to come up with ideas. There's just way too much fixed mindset and bias in the leadership nowadays. And I think a lot of that just comes from fear of giving up control. So for some reason, these business leaders, a lot of them, and anyone in leadership roles, they think that they can do it the best way, and how they've done it is always the best way. And they basically, quite honestly, would probably want robots instead of people working for them. But that being said, I think it's coming to a time where companies are going to have to step it up. And you know what? And the thing about it is, it's good for the company. They're going to make gains like they've never made before. If someone said, well, what about, what if, you give all this autonomy to people, they're just going to, be lazy, they're not going to do it right and all that. Well, that's a character thing in the employee. That's a character thing, meaning that probably not the right person to hire to begin with. And if the core values of the company are universal throughout the whole company, and every employee gets what's going on and what's expected in this company, then the peer pressure will be to stop it anyways. Not the other way around, where people see someone not doing what they should be doing and being lazy or what have you, or being toxic and gossipy or whatever, and then therefore doing it themselves. So anyways, going back to reward, I said, I got to do these YouTube videos. I think people watching are going to catch on, and they're going to say, what's he doing today? What's he doing today? And it's not about me. It's about how close is he getting to that top of that mountain of launching that platform that's going to really force, I think, the workforce in general to step it up on how they treat people, and then therefore the company excels as well, and everybody's growing and having a life. Because let's not forget that our employees, you're not just talking to an employee. And imagine if you disrespect an employee by insulting them or undermining them or what have you. But that affects their family, that affects their children, that affects it affects everybody around them. Business leaders need to, they have to think about that you have a huge impact on somebody's way of life, financially as well as emotionally, when it comes to how you treat them. So I said, I'm going to get a jamming new phone. I usually don't jump on the whole new phone thing, and as long as it works great, good. But if I can find something better. But I said, how about for a reward? I'm going to go all the way to Christmas on these videos. I am not going to miss a day. So there I go, throwing it out to you. I can't miss a day of videos. So, but if and when I reach that point, I did 2 years of burpees straight. I can do the next few weeks, or the next 3 weeks to Christmas without missing a day, and then reward myself with a new phone where I can, have a better camera and all. It's just a reward, guys. It's just a principle. So I challenge you, find something that you've been wanting to do, whether it's start working out. Why do you have to wait for New Year's? New Year's resolutions, that's every day for someone like me. I may not be the most fun to be around sometimes because I'm so focused on a lot of my projects, but people also respect me for that, because when I say I'm going to go for something, that's pretty cool. Everybody wants to be around someone that is, kind of driving hard all the time, and in a healthy way. And I love sharing it with everyone around me, my friends and the people that support me. But that being said, reward yourself, and by rewarding and focusing on the reward that you're internally going to give yourself, because it's, once again, it's not so much the phone, it's the fact that you did it every day, even when you didn't feel like it, even though you felt like me, were like, you know, is anyone going to watch? Or you're going to feel the same way. I mean, the people you see doing these videos that have tons of, you know, subscribers or a big audience, you know, a lot of them, you know, that's just the way they are. They love getting in front of a camera and sharing and everything, but their biggest power, their superpower, is consistency. Because I'm sure you see a lot of people making a lot of videos where it's not necessarily anything super cool, but they're consistent and people respect that. So find out something you're gonna build, you know, and we're kind of aligned with each other as I do this. And you know, if it makes other people's lives better, that's even better. But reward yourself. Give yourself some sort of reward as you gauge your progression. Everybody needs to feel competence as they progress higher and higher, and you'll start focusing on that instead of the fears of looking stupid or not doing a good job or not being perfect. So I think that's really cool. I'm going to go back. I'm studying some really cool ideas to get the exposure out there for the Coolest Boss Ever movement, and then leading up to the platform that we'll be releasing. And I really look forward to any comments that people have, and maybe somehow I inspired you to tackle something you've been putting off due to fear or didn't have the time. Whatever it is, believe me, you got to make the time for everything. We all have the same time. You got to make the time to do what you got to do. And I will find something today. I'm going to, by the end of today, well, number one, I made the video. I will make sure I focus on my progression today. And then tomorrow's another day, and I got to keep going. And you know, and the bottom line is this. You say, well, you can't work all the time. I enjoy creation. I enjoy creating things. I love it. And even though sometimes it could be boring for other people around me, but it's not boring. I mean, isn't that what we're all for, to share? So very cool. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like the video, share it with others that you know that might have some ideas that need to turn them into reality, so that they too can live feeling great about what they achieved, what they built, without regret, and we can all do this and make it a better world. See you next time.